Welcome to episode 196 of the Lone Hockey Podcast. For today, we're going to be talking about some standouts in today's matchup between San Jose and Boston in Boston. And really good game from Boston. Obviously, they're trying to be a more consistent team overall. I feel like they've had spurts throughout the year where they've kind of gone back and forth between winning and losing. And it's just, I feel like they really need to get on a run. And I don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but this was a really good showing from them, especially offensively, and how they're able to rely on a lot of the players to be able to produce offense throughout their lineup. And they did a really good job producing. We'll start with some standouts on San Jose's side. I thought Will Smith had a really good game, 2 point game, goal and assist. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Massachusetts too. So from that area, and he played a really good game and just was really noticeable. I feel like I always notice his passing ability when I watch San Jose games, and he's always really flashy with the puck. He's really flashy with his skill. He's really flashy with his awareness in the ozone and how he's able to maintain that playmaking awareness and just very noticeable overall. Does a really good job at producing offense, obviously, and being a very productive player when it comes to his playmaking and hockey sense as well. And then I thought Barclay Goodrow had one of the better games I've seen from him this season. Just was very noticeable overall and was producing a lot. He was very noticeable in terms of his checking ability and his detail there. And at the same time, you look at how he can produce on occasion as well. He can be reliable as an offensive guy for them when need be. And this was one of the games where he's doing a really good job of that. And he was really good and really noticeable. Mikael Granlund, another guy who's been in a lot of trade rumors and have a very productive offensive year thus far. And just a very interesting player to watch. Like you notice the playmaking, the goal scoring, the speed off the rush, how he's able to work his skating in tandem with his hands. He's got a lot of reliable attributes that make him a top six scoring threat. And he's kind of revived his game in San Jose over the course of the last 2 years. So he's been really good, really noticeable, obviously very productive for them and very reliable for them offensively. And then Fabian Zetterlund, a guy who brings a ton of speed, a ton of checking ability, a ton of forechecking. I don't want to say flair, but I want to say forechecking precision and detail. And he's a highly, highly competitive player. I feel like that's what stands out the most when it comes to him. He brings an above average skill set, like not super high end in terms of offensive ability, but where you get the most value out of him is his checking ability and his defensive play and how his competitiveness works in tandem with his offensive attributes. So he's able to get a lot of puck retrievals back because he's always working to try and strip pucks loose and try to create turnovers and that type of thing. So he's really noticeable. And then on Boston's side, I thought Charlie Coyle had a really good game, arguably the best player in this game. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, 4 shots, and just is very interesting. He's a really good threat fit for them throughout their, I want to say top nine and middle six more so. And obviously he can be a center, he can be a winger. He's been more of a center in Boston. And he's an interesting fit because you can put him at both positions. He's really good at doing both, which is rare to see. And he does a really good job at being able to incorporate shooting skill, but also playmaking skill and pass first ability. So he was really noticeable. Elias Lindholm, Brand Marchand, and David Pastrnak, obviously those trio, all really noticeable. And I felt like this was one of the better games I've seen from Lindholm. You obviously notice Pastrnak and Marchand every single game because those two guys are kind of the heartbeat of Boston and their identity. And that's when you think of Boston, you think of those two guys, namely. And Elias Lindholm, though, had one of his better games as a Bruin so far, and 2 points, a goal and assist, and was really good as a passer, really noticeable as a passer, really noticeable defensively, really, really good as a shutdown center, killing plays and being able to kill plays with his stick and also his body position. And was doing a really good job there. And I thought he was really noticeable there. And then Matthew Poitras, who I believe was called up recently, and obviously got some time with the big club last year as well. And he's trying to find a consistent role back with the team this year. But he's been very good for Providence, and I feel like you're gonna get a stretch of time where he can produce offensively for Boston, especially as a center. He's a natural center. He can play that role and really fit that top nine center role pretty seamlessly, and you can even rely upon him as a second line center if need be. So Poitras is a guy that stands out in so many facets of the game. He's competitive. He checks well. He's de detailed in terms of how he checks. He's got, I wouldn't, I would say I notice him more as a passer than a goal scorer. But what I notice most about his scoring ability is his ability to get around the net and get interior off the puck. So he's always moving. He's always trying to find space. And that's what's really noticeable when it comes from his scoring ability. But yes, he's a pass first center. And a lot of play driving centers typically are pass first, but when it comes to Poitras, he can incorporate some of that dual threat ability into his play over the course of time as well.